not about Jubilee, it's not about Wiper, it's not about ANC. KANU, it cut across all parties that are like-minded, that are moving together towards what is going to be read here. I don't want to preempt what is in this statement, but I want to give my brother here, Senator of Kakamega, maybe to say one or two words before we call the people who are going to read the statement.
Thank you. Just to emphasize, in our introductory remarks, basically this is a statement on the reprehensible conduct of the Deputy President, and you must admit with all honesty that of late the Deputy President has conducted himself in a manner in which borders on disrespect to the presidency. He has treated state agencies and constitutional bodies with absolute disregard and disrespect. It is for this purpose and this reason that we feel as responsible leaders, it is important to put the record straight regarding the conduct of the Deputy President. We must note that this is a bipartisan statement because we have members of Parliament from Jubilee, ODM, ANC, Wiper, and like-minded leaders, and KANU, Ford Kenya, independent candidates who are congregated here for the purposes of this statement. It is also important to emphasize that it is a bicameral statement because we have members from both houses, we have members from the National Assembly, and members from the Senate. We will also emphasize that we have members from all the regions of Kenya. So it is not a political party statement. This is the position of the leaders of Kenya, and therefore it is my humble time to introduce the two honorable members who will read the statement. That is Honorable Gladwell Cheriot, woman representative of Baringo County, and the valedictory part of the statement will be read by Honorable Mbui Robert, who is the Deputy Minority Leader in the National Assembly and also Member of Parliament, Kathiani constituency. Welcome, Honorable Gladwell Cheriot.
Very good.
Thank you so much, members of Parliament and members of both states. The statement reads, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides for the establishment of a multi-party democratic state based on specific and enumerated foundational values. Under the said Constitution, the Deputy President does not undertake a separate and distinct nomination process in presidential elections. He is, therefore, the principal assistant of the President as an integral appendage of the presidency, who must operate under restricted and limited terms and conditions within the general authority of the President. The Deputy President must loyally assist the President in promoting the unity of the nation, and the occupier of the office must respect, uphold, safeguard the Constitution. Above all, as a state officer, the Deputy President must be at the forefront in complying with the responsibilities of leadership as spelled out in Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity. The Deputy President has declared war against established state institutions, some of them which are creatures of the Constitution, just like his high office. The police, that is, which includes the DCI, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, are constitutional bodies. The Deputy President is the second highest ranking member of the National Security Council, which exercises supervisory control of our national security organs, ipso facto, is well placed to deal with questions or challenges that may arise concerning operations of security organs. The Deputy President should therefore be the last person to complain against government institutions in funerals, roadside pronouncement with a loud megaphone that can only undermine the authority and mandate of government institutions and may well constitute an offense against public order. The Deputy President has questioned the capacity and mandate of the investigatory and prosecutorial organs of the state. These persistent attacks have targeted numerous public officers, including the CS Matiang'i, the PS Karanja Kibicho, the DCI George Kinoti, the public prosecutor Nudin Haji, who serve at the core of the public service functions and operations. He has claimed that the system has been mobilized to bring him down and persistently alleged that his life is in danger. In recent attacks, he has not spared the head of state either, with a crude and sinister reference to the purported existence of a deep state. These attacks have now peaked with the creation of a team directly loyal to the Deputy President within the ruling party, with the objective of eroding the prestige and honor of the President of the Republic of Kenya and the leader of his party, and to fight the government from within. This is unacceptable and ultimately renders the government dysfunctional and divided, as opposed to BBI that we want. The statement continues to say there is an open war on the president and good governance. Last year, the president and Raila Odinga embarked on and launched a major initiative to fight against corruption and to build bridges leading to the exalted destination of a united and prosperous Kenya. The Deputy President has questioned the formulation and implementation of these noble objectives. Despite national and international acclaim and approval of the Building Bridges initiative, the Deputy President has openly fought against it. The narrative of peace, justice, and reconciliation is total anathema to the Deputy President. The brazen attacks on the government and public institutions have been extended to the social media and targeted varied groups in society. In these circumstances, center cannot hold, in quotes, unless appropriate action is taken against these malfeasances against democracy, the rule of law, accountability, and good governance. The President has appealed to state officers and the nation as a whole that the country should not be subjected to early campaigns for the 2022 general election, but the Deputy President has bluntly disobeyed his principle, and in this regard, in our view, this constitutes gross misconduct and an act of insubordination. Thank you. Next reader.
Yeah, thank you. The message continues, and I start off with the issues of integrity. The authority and respect of the government has been subverted by the integrity issues facing the Deputy President. In fact, the question of the rectitude and forthrightness of the Deputy President has always clouded the character of the Deputy President right from the beginning, as his public record has constantly been fraught with concerns and controversies about his ethical probity, ranging from the grabbing of public and private land to participation in fraudulent deals. The list is endless, but let us mention just a few. Start with the issue of the maize scandal. The second one is the issue of land grabbing, including the KCAA land, on which he has developed the Western Hotel. Remember, he also attempted to grab the land of Langata Primary next to it for parking for his hotel. The displacement of private citizens in Rift Valley. The Aro and Kimarel dam projects. He sensationally claimed that no money was lost and that there was a legitimate expenditure of 7 billion for the projects by the National Treasury, which we know up to now to be untrue. The operations of Amaco in questionable deals and contracts with Kenya Pipeline Corporation and other state institutions. Manipulation of planning, budgeting and procurement procedures and the irregular securing of payments for his personal benefit and thereby acting in constant abuse of office, contrary to the law of the land. History of fraud, acquisition of unexplained wealth and unjust enrichment, arms deals and association with the underworld. The launching of ghost projects. The Public Accounts Committee has openly accused Ruto of launching ghost projects. He purportedly commissioned the Lower Nzoia irrigation project without the involvement of parent ministries and claimed credit for it. He does not launch the projects as an appropriate and official undertaking. To the contrary, he is driven by an overriding selfish and extraneous objective of promoting his egoistic ambitions to attain the office of president in 2022 by whatever means possible. We also note the issue of unbridled ambition. The Deputy President is definitely guilty of public misconduct and grave malpractices and has not lived up to the oath of office that he subscribed to before assuming that office. He has not brought honor to the nation and dignity to the office of the Deputy President and has failed to promote public confidence in the integrity of the high office. We are aware even in international media there is mention of his office on a constant basis in the recent past. He had rather rule Kenya than serve the people. He has not offered a selfless service based solely on the public interest. He is not honest and his personal interests are in constant conflict with his public duties. With this state of affairs, we feel that William Ruto must shape up or ship out. He needs time and undivided attention to pursue the only thing and ambition that makes sense to him and meaning in his life, which is to dream and campaign for his 2022 presidential presidential election. So I think that is our position as of now. Thank you very much.
So I will, I will call upon one or two members, starting with Honorable Savula, MP Lugari, just to make his remarks. Few comment. Thank you so much. I would like to state as follows. The 2010 Constitution gives procedure under which power can be transferred, and the instruments of power were transferred to one person, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta. The instrument of power of a nation are not co-shared between the president and deputy. There is no co-president in this country. Ruto must respect the institution of presidency, respect the holder of the office, or ship out. We want a cohesive country. We don't want to drive this country like Somali, like Rwanda, like Sudan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, lastly, I will call upon Honorable Kanini Kega.
Asanti, nitasema kwa Kiswahili, niseme kwamba sisi wote tumekuja hapa ambao ni viongozi katika ngazi zote za bunge, katika bunge la seneti na bunge la kitaifa, na pia viongozi kutoka vyama mbalimbali zote ambazo tuko katika taifa hili. Na ya muhimu niseme kwamba tumekuja kwa sababu tumefedheheshwa sana na matamshi ambayo yametolewa na naibu rais wa Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya. Ya kwanza, kwa zile idara zote ambazo zinafanya katika jamhuri hii yetu, ukianzia na idara ya DCI ambayo ameikashifu sana, idara ya DPP ambayo inaongozwa na Nuruddin Haji, na pia kuikashifu ofisi ya rais, kusema kwamba wale ambao wanafanya kazi katika ofisi ya rais wanamwadama. Niseme kwamba ukichaguliwa kama naibu wa rais, kazi yako ni usaidizi wa rais, lakini vile tunaona hivi majuzi, badala ya kuwa msaidizi wa rais amekuwa ni kuhujumu kazi ambayo inafanywa na rais. Na sisi kama viongozi lazima tuseme, kwa sababu wakati unachukua kiapo ama unakula kiapo ya kusaidia rais, lakini vile tumeona matamshi yake, mienendo yake, wale ambao wanahusika na yeye, marafiki wake wa karibu, hawajakuwa na mienendo sawa sawa. Na ndivyo tunamwambia, kama hataki kufanya kazi na rais, kama hataki kufanya kazi kwa kiapo kile alichokula, ni vizuri kama mtu ambaye anaheshimu sheria, kama hutaki kufanya kazi na yule ambaye mumekula kiapo pamoja, basi ile kitu rahisi ni kukaa kando. Kwa hivyo niseme kwamba, na nasema kwa niaba ya wabunge wengi ambaye tumekuwa kwa muda mwingi sana tumenyamaza, mambo yakienda segemnege, mambo yakiharibika hapa na pale, na tunajua ni nani anahujumu mambo yote ambayo inafanyika katika serikali. Kwa hivyo hii ni laani tunatoa kusema kwamba hatutanyamaza tena. Mtu achukue jukumu lake. Kama wewe ni mbunge, fanya jukumu lako. Kama wewe ni msaidizi wa mtu fulani, wewe kuwa ni msaidizi wa huyo mtu, lakini isikuwe wewe unajitwika jukumu ambalo katiba haijakupea. Kwa hivyo sisi tumebakia miaka miwili kwenda uchaguzi, na ni vizuri tuseme kwamba wakati huu Wakenya wanangojea wafanyiwe kazi, na hatuwezi kuwa na siasa kila kuchao, kutoka Jumamosi mpaka Jumamosi ile ingine, kutoka asubuhi mpaka usiku. Tunataka kuwafanyia kazi Wakenya kwa sababu tuna ile ahadi zile 4 haswa ambazo tuliwapatia Wakenya. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri wale ambao wanajijua, wale ambao hawafanyi kazi ni siasa peke yake, wajue kwamba wakati wao umekwisha.
Asante. So thank you.
We hear that they want to bring an impeachment motion to impeach the deputy president. I want to tell them, or we want to tell them, bring it on, baby, bring it on. We are waiting. Let them bring the impeachment motion. And this issue of the DCI weaponizing corruption should stop. How comes up to date with the big headlines for the last 2 years, we've not seen anyone who's been prosecuted? How comes when they're talking about Kimorer, a road dam, and there was about 7 billion, there's 21 billion, there's someone who took 4 billion. How comes that there is no one who has been charged in court? So let's not politicize this war of corruption, and we stop profiling. We actually profiling people and trying to make some people from a certain region to look like they are corrupt and not the other, and that one should stop.
Naomba niseme hivi ya kwamba Kenya inaelekea pabaya, na mambo ambayo tunashuhudia sasa ni muungano wa matapeli wanaotafuta nafasi katika serikali ya Kenya kupitia mlango wa nyuma na wakitumia jina ya muungano wa kuleta Kenya pamoja. Sisi tunataka kusema hivi. Moja, kuna baadhi ya wabunge wanaosema wanataka kumimpeach deputy president. Sisi tunasema kujeni kama sahihi. Msipoteze wakati, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwa na muungano wa magavana wabakaji wa demokrasia, hatuwezi kuwa na muungano wa wauaji kule Migori, hatuwezi kuwa na muungano wa watu wanaopiga risasi katika klabu na kuua watu, kisha nyinyi mnajiona weupe na kuita wengine wezi. Kama William Ruto ni mwizi, Kenya ina asasi za usalama, watumie hizo asasi na wamfungulie mashtaka. Lakini mambo ya kupayuka, wewe mwizi mkubwa unaoita wengine wezi, iishe. Yes. BBI imefeli. Aliyesema atasimamisha rege alisahau kutoa betri ya mwisho, kwa sababu BBI imefeli. BBI haizungumzii wakulima, BBI haizungumzii chakula kwa mtu wa kawaida, BBI haizungumzii miundo misingi, BBI haizungumzii haizungumzii afya bora, haizungumzii kazi kwa vijana ambao ni 70%. BBI haiunganishi watu, inaunganisha matajiri wanaotaka kupigania nafasi zao katika siku za usoni, na njia ya kipekee ni kuondoa wale wanaonekana kuwa kikwazo. Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema kujeni katika bunge, mulete hiyo impeach, na mimi hata napendekeza zaidi, bunge ivunjwe, turudi sote mashinani.
Wa Kenya ama taifa ya Kenya ni taifa ya waumini, Waislamu, Wakristo, Wahindu, ni watu wanayomcha Mwenyezi Mungu. Kamwe Kenya haitokuwa taifa rege. Napenda kuwakumbusha, tulikwenda uchaguzini miaka 2007. Uchaguzi ikafanyika kwa njia haki na huru. Kwa sababu mazoea yana tabu, wasopenda kukubali ushindi wamekataa. Kwayo basi wakachochea taifa Kenya, Wakenya wakachukua mapanga na kuuana mchana kweupe. Baada ya kuuana, wakakuja mabepari kwa jina ya suluhu na maslaha, wakaamua kuleta nusu mkate. Babu alipofika kwa cheo, ameona nyuma yake kuna watu watamtatiza, kwa hivyo akaamua alete ICC. Kila anayehofu naye ni wa kwanza kushitakiwa. Baada ya yale kutofaulu, majuzi tumekwenda kwa uchaguzi. Sisi tumechagua rais, sisi tukachagua makamu wa rais, na yeye amekataa uchaguzi. Leo hii yeye na wanachama yake na chama chake cha kisiasa wana haki gani kutufunza sisi tulomchagua Uhuru na Ruto kuheshimu wao? Ningependa kusema hivi, mazoea yana shida. Wewe umeshindwa na Moi ukakataa kukubali, umeshindwa na Kibaki ukakataa kukubali, umeshindwa na Uhuru umekataa kukubali. Tunakualika kwa kinyang'anyiro na ya Ruto, tutakupiga 10-0.
Members of Parliament and its friends, I have the privilege to read to you a joint statement by all the members of the Jubilee coalition and friends. This is the statement. I think you can be able to see for yourselves and make the correct judgment. The House has just adjourned for lack of quorum and because of the importance that the Jubilee members of Parliament attach to this matter. And friends, this is the statement. In 2007, Kenya went into an election pitting President Mwai Kibaki against ODM Raila Odinga. Honorable William Ruto, then as Eldoret North Member of Parliament, played a key role in supporting Raila to ensure he wins the polls. After the elections, Raila, in his usual habit, refused to concede defeat, and decision that plunged the country into mayhem that led to the loss of life, destruction of property, and the crumbling of the economy. By refusing to concede defeat, Raila held President Kibaki and Kibaki's government hostage, forcing the international community to intervene. And Raila, through intimidation and coercion, forced a handshake with President Kibaki. Once he achieved power, he quickly hatched a plan against perceived political leaders whom he felt would be a stumbling block in his plan to succeed President Kibaki. Through that plan, he fixed Honorable William Ruto, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta at the ICC and sought to have them banned from by the local courts in an effort to stop them from running for the presidency in the 2013 elections. What was then an evil scheme brought Uhuru Ruto together as they teamed up not to win the presidency but to unite the country. The people of Kenya saw through Raila's evil schemes and not only joined Uhuru Ruto in their unity efforts but also voted them into the presidency. What followed was accusations and counter-accusations urged by ODM, including accusing President Uhuru Kenyatta of not only stealing money but also facilitating theft through his family members. DP Ruto, as Uhuru's principal assistant, stood firm behind the president and not only ensured they were re-elected in 2017 but also kept the country united. The gospel from ODM and his sidekicks then was to separate Uhuru Ruto by running propaganda that President Kenyatta would betray his deputy after the 2017 elections. Raila, out of desperation, attempted to do what he did in 2007 by not only refusing to concede defeat, but inciting his supporters to violence, advocating for secession of certain parts of the country, and in a blatant act of treason, swearing himself in as parallel president. In an act of great statesmanship and in an effort to hold the country together, President Uhuru Kenyatta extended a hand of friendship to Raila. Sadly, Raila Odinga, in his classical style and manner, has converted the handshake into a tool of political deceit and conmanship. The statement issued earlier by ODM and his surrogates is a vintage Raila Odinga, a master of violence, division, and deceit. We would therefore want to respond to him as follows. Raila Odinga's objective in the BBI process has nothing to do with uniting the country of Kenya. It has everything to do with his insatiable appetite for power that has been evident since the 1982 coup. Raila is replaying the same script that he used on President Moi, President Kibaki, and now President Uhuru Kenyatta. He didn't, the leopard does not change its spots, and even with whitewash, beneath it all, you will still find its true spots. BBI process has been fraudulently hijacked by Raila, who has been doing rounds in the country using it to insult the deputy president. By hiding behind the president, Odinga has usurped the clarity, authority, and the credibility of the president's vision and recalibrated it to achieve his personal ambitions. In becoming the most visible actor in BBI, Odinga has escalated his personal wants into the national agenda, hijacked national institutions to serve opposition and Odinga's purposes, and threatened the legitimacy of the BBI altogether. I would ask my good friend Malulu Ingent to continue printing a statement.
BBI is not an ODM platform to wage partisan war using state budget. It is now a bureau to facilitate Odinga's vendetta against the deputy president and make it seem to be an explicit government agenda. The BBI is now used to rubber stamp divisive, hateful, dangerous political actions on the pretext of conducting lawful state programs. We have seen Raila through his party members at Serena pontificate about how we should respect the president. Really? Did they just say we should be loyal and respect the president? The president has not complained about his deputy. Neither has sent anyone to do on his behalf. ODM cannot lecture us on loyalty and respect for Uhuru Kenyatta. If loyalty is being used to measure loyalty to Uhuru Kenyatta, then the measuring tool itself is the deputy president. No one has sacrificed more for President Uhuru than DP Ruto. From the time Uhuru was MP up to now, Ruto has not only been his loyal friend, but also a committed supporter. Anyone questioning DP Ruto's loyalty to the President Kenyatta is not only dishonest, but also evil. Odinga forgets that he has called the President a criminal, a thief, night runner, kifaranga cha computer, land grabber, and other epithets, and never recanted any of them before or after the handshake. ODM's strategy was always about nusu mkate government. We are now aware that there is another meeting tomorrow to bring impeachment motion against the deputy president and get him out of office so that Raila can get a position in government.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
The other plans to reconstitute government so that ODM can occupy half of the cabinet. In the interim, Raila is campaigning to be made chief minister in President Uhuru's government. Raila's plan all along is to use DCI to plan frivolous accusations from Arol and Kimwere Dam to the Chesa scandal so that they can judge the deputy president with anything in order to bar him from running for president in 2022. This is just history repeating itself. Thank you.
Wario Swahili. Wario. Sio uganga, tunaenda Canaan ambao haina crocodile.
On behalf of all these MPs, and for avoidance of doubt, if Raila Odinga and ODM have two options, and one of them is William Ruto resigning, take it from me that William Ruto is not resigning because he is not anybody's appointee. Yes. He was elected on the ballot. Yes. Number two, it is a prerogative of the president to reshuffle cabinet. He can do it anytime. We don't have that power. He has a power. If he want to bring Raila Odinga as chief minister, let him just go ahead instead of all these shenanigans. Yes. Finally, tuko tayari kwa uchaguzi. Tuko tayari serikali ivunjwe. Yes. Tuko tayari kwenda kwa debe. Yes. We enjoy 80% of the support of Kenyans. Yes. Wakimwaga ugali tunamwaga kitoweo. Yes.
Handbag ni ya nani?
Jamani msabo. Shika.
Uko karibu sana boss. Hapo sana. Hai.
Leta na hizo.
Legislation, that is those are some of the chairs of departmental committees who are with and those there is a total of 5 committees which are committee chairs which are and 11 vice chairpersons are in those committees which are and we will be waiting for the National Assembly.
Ngoja kwanza tuweze kutoka. Wacha kwanza hizo mashofu tupate. Ndio tukifanyaliwa tukamisi zina.
The president the first of the general of the particular Rafael, and that was after the opening prayers, and then immediately the president stood and asked the members of the church to leave the venue, and from there the president spoke, and then the last person actually is the last person who spoke to that parliamentary group meeting before the closing prayer, and members were dismissed. Of course, after making those changes. So it's only two people who actually spoke in that meeting. That is the person who was opening the prayer, the Secretary General of the party, and the President only. Those are the two people who spoke in that parliamentary meeting. The meeting which lasted up to 30 minutes and it was over. No one else, no questions were taken, no questions were answered. Era kusikia bado kidogo rezona hizo picha hata hizo picha rezona wanasema kieleweke julikana kieleweke kushinda ndio wanasema kieleweke kuna watu wamilizi wawili tu songo wasenge hapa watakuja hata tuwepo mseti ni vizuri Mungu karibu sana. Patia mtu mmoja kasiane maisha sawa sawa.
Asante mwanangu na Ndiro, how are you?
Tunashukuru.
Ndiro. Hakuna mtu anaongea. Leo mkutano ilikuwa ya rais na rais ameongea. Hakuna mtu anaongea zingine, rais ameongea na hiyo imetosha. Maoni kwanza, twende bunge kwanza tujadiliane, lakini sisi tunafurahi kwa sababu rais ameongea na tulikuwa tunangojea yeye in person aongee na ameongea. Kwa
Kwa hivyo leo hakuna maneno mengine tunaongeza. Na statement itatoka officially. Kwa hivyo mngojee official statement from the party leader. Asanteni sana. Sorry.
Nini yangu ingia kwa pana sasa nataka niweke kwa tripod yangu. Tripod yangu. Unaangalia jamaa kwa kamera. Hapa sidhani utafanyia link hapa. Link. Uko mbele ya kamera zote bwana. Na kutoka we are coming to you live from the Kenya International Convention Center, and as you saw, maybe also some news, breaking news, we have the new the National Assembly. The President just came in 30 minutes ago, and I can say that the meeting took place from about 40 minutes. It was a short meeting, and was supposed to tell us the President first only two people spoke that it was the Secretary General who spoke, Rafael Ruto, and followed by the President who read the minutes of the party. They said that they also to the speaking member of Parliament. There is a new party, the National Assembly, and that position was earlier the place of actually the meeting quite sad face, but that was the truth. We are also told that members of the Parliament attended so of course that was the former president. They have not spoken to us because they are waiting for the president to bring out. That is the case so far. All members of Parliament actually attend that particular meeting, including those members of Parliament who are perceived to be shouted allegiance to the President Uhuru Kenyatta. Also the Deputy President Ruto is in as we speak. They are also waiting to be out.
took about 5 minutes and it was the changes were announced. And here you go, you have the present. You can see that President the members of parliament. Number 3. Actually they look Excellency, salimia wa Kenya. Salimia wa Kenya. Kuja salimia wa Kenya tafadhali. Hawajasikia sauti yako. Kama chini. Tafadhali.
Watu wakae na usalama.
Mkutano ilikuwa aje? Mrevi.
Tunakuja kusema yale ambayo tunapanga tukienda hapo mbele. Sawa.
Lakini unaweza kupatia slip twist.
Acha ujeuri.
Hapa karibu. Tafadhali. Ngoja jeni kwa head. Wewe mazee wewe. Please. Tumekubali. Tafadhali kesa tupate. Hello? Tuongee kwa short mazee. Turudi nyuma. Can I call you later? It's not urgent. Wakae hapo. I want so that I can to remove. So you need to protect yourself and I remove. Yes. So mko tayari? Yeah. Yes. I don't want to do it twice, eh? Yeah. Sawa. Uko sawa? Nani hayuko sawa? 1, 2, 3. Others are still connecting.
So, thank you very much, members of the media and my colleagues. Today we've had party parliamentary group meeting for the Jubilee Coalition, mainly on the National Assembly, and which was graced by our party leader, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Deputy Party Leader, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, and good attendance. I think the last count was 150 plus before final records. Of course, the number of details will be released later. And the main outcome of the meeting was a change in leadership of the party, and I really want to thank His Excellency the President as a party leader for proposing me to take over as the new leader of the majority party in Parliament. And it's a humbling situation because it's the confidence is shown for me to take on the leadership of the party in the Parliament in the next 2 years as we move towards the changeover. And I want to also congratulate my colleague, Honorable Edan Kenan, who now takes over the position. I had been given just 2 weeks ago as the Joint Secretary to the Joint Parliamentary Group of both the Senate and the National Assembly. I did half the notes. He will complete the other half, and then we work together, and obviously with the other changes that were made that you already reported on. So I don't take this appointment lightly. It's a great honor to me. It's and I can only promise to do my best to serve not just the party but also our country, and as we get into the issues that need to be addressed. I also want to underscore and really appreciate the dedicated service that the Honorable Duale has rendered to this country in the last 8 years. I've been in that position before as Deputy Leader of Government Business in the 11th Parliament, in the 10th Parliament, and I know what it means to be in the House every day. I've spent a lot of time with Honorable Duale in the leadership of the House, serving together in the House Business Committee, and I know his commitment. And so it needs to go on record, and I think also the President did say the same, and we know he's still a big asset to this country, and we will continue using his expertise and his experience, harnessing the synergies of the diversity of our thoughts and ideas for the greater good of this country. I also want to thank the membership of, I know, calling a meeting on a Monday morning when people are coming from the constituencies. People traveled that night to be here to show the support to His Excellency the President and the Deputy President and the party leadership, that when we accord, we're there. And I believe that's the new unity that we've all been working for as we fight forward for the purposes of achieving the greater good in terms of the promises and the pledges we made to Kenyan people. So let me leave it at that. Our formal statement obviously will be coming, but as of now, I just want to really thank His Excellency the President for the confidence he's shown in myself and in my brother here as we take on, as join the rest of the team of Honorable Angwe, Honorable Maure, and Jimmy Amweni in spearheading the National Assembly and the other team within the Senate as we achieve the Jubilee agenda. The departmental committees is one of the responsibilities we have. Is between now and Thursday, we will have processed all the names that need to be changed, working obviously with the party leader, and then you'll get to hear of those when the names are officially released in Parliament.
Okay? There's a process that needs to go through, and that process has to go through a selection committee, it has to go through House Business Committee, it has then to go to the House.
So by that Thursday we'll have all the names.
By Thursday, the committees will then have elected, because they need to do an election. There is a formal process, and we hope that we'll get the results declared by the clerk in terms of the election that will have taken place in the various committees by Thursday.
What is the president's tone to the rebels?
They are not rebels.
You understand the question I'm asking?
No. Let me tell you, we don't have rebels. The rebels exist in the eyes of people who want to profile people as pro or anti. I don't see anyone traveling that distance at night to come here to rebel. People came here because they are committed to the party, right?
Critical.
No, we had a very humble, we had a very cordial meeting. We even ended up with tea at the cafeteria. It's like, it's that social. It's that, and we wish we didn't have the restrictions of COVID, then we would have probably socialized much more. Yeah, but I want to assure you, and I want to commit myself that going forward, we would want to see the whole Jubilee fraternity working together in harmony to achieve the objectives of the party. And I believe that's what we were.
An opportunity for members as well to engage with the president in terms
the agenda was one. The president proposed, there was a seconder, and that's it. So there was no engagement, because once the agenda item is completed, there is no engagement. We will have a meeting to engage depending on the issues of the day. Yeah, but the agenda item for the day did not have opportunity or room for discussion.
Why do you think the government felt the need to change leadership?
It's not the government that we are talking of a party.
Yeah, why did the party feel the need?
The party changed because the members felt there was need for a change.
I think let me because I think you must let me also join my colleague in thanking His Excellency the President and the party leadership for showing confidence in us, my colleague here. I also want to thank the members of the Jubilee Party and Coalition for their resilience and also for the confidence. And secondly, I think politics is so dynamic. This is one thing that really we also need to understand. Politics is so dynamic in the sense that every day comes with events. So as the Jubilee family, the Jubilee and the Coalition Party family, ours is to make sure the Jubilee agenda succeeds, and that is what exactly the President actually has told the members. So mine is to say thank you. I know we have a very able team. Amos Kimunya has served in different capacities. He has been Minister for Finance, he has been Minister for Transport, Minister for Land, Minister for Trade, and I had one time the privilege of being the only backbencher in the House Business Committee, actually, where he was the government leader. Ours is to ensure that we will make sure the Jubilee agenda in line with the principles stated under the handshake succeeds. And I think that's what the President has emphasized, and he has rightly put it. There is no Jubilee A or Jubilee B. Ours is to make sure the Jubilee family works together as a group to make sure the Jubilee agenda succeeds. Otherwise, we wish you well also, and I hope you will support us in implementing the agenda of His Excellency, the Jubilee Party, and the Jubilee government. Thank you so much.
Secretary, you're coming at a time when there's Jubilee and Jubilee.
No, let's not spoil. Let's not spoil a good day.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
Hey, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Komanda, nisaidie kuja kufanya kitu wawili tu. Kuja tufanye kitu wawili tu.